Never been anything like the amount of work taking place today along Louisiana's coast.
In a Coast in Crisis report, John Snell tells us about the largest marsh creation projects ever attempted.
A South Louisiana afternoon thunderstorm interrupts a tour of some brand new marsh. South of Lafitte, contractors sometimes were forced to fight the elements as they converted open water to 1,200 acres of wetlands. A pipeline delivered sediment dredged from the Mississippi River 13 miles away.
Where you were driving a vehicle right now, you would be standing probably in 3 to 4 feet of water.
Just check out the dot showing our location on a Google map. We look like we're in Upper Barataria Bay.
This is pretty unbelievable. Every time you come out here in coastal Louisiana and you get to stand on the newest piece of Louisiana, it never gets old.
It took $181 million, part of the several billion BP set aside to restore natural resources damaged in the 2010 Gulf oil spill.
The construction's the fun part. I mean, getting to see them built is just awesome.
Along Louisiana's coast, an unprecedented amount of work is underway. 3 projects of a similar scale happening simultaneously. In southern Plaquemines Parish, near Venice, contractors are wrapping up work on a brand new ridge that stretches for 6 miles. In St. Bernard, along the south end of Lake Borgne, another project creates or nourishes 2,700 acres. The work near Lafitte comes in a part of the coast that has suffered some of Louisiana's most dramatic land loss.
No better example of that than Hurricane Ida just a couple of years ago now. This was, ground zero for that. A lot of destruction and devastation. A lot of marsh was displaced and destroyed.
New marsh alone may not knock down the next Katrina, but coastal advocates argue it provides another layer of defense, including for the levees.
Anything in front of where you are and where we have storm surge coming in is better.
It also represents the largest ever NOAA restoration project as contractors stitch back together parts of Louisiana's coast. John Snell, Fox 8 Local First.
Contractors on this project near Lafitte dredged 8.4 million cubic yards of sediment, or almost 2 superdomes of material.